You're listening to the Traffic and Conversion Show. I'm your host, Michelle Fernandez, and today is all about how to execute a summer marketing reboot. So stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. We are halfway through 2022. Can you believe it? Where does the time go, right? Well, it's time to reflect on quarter one and quarter two and really dive in to what worked, what didn't, and what might you do differently moving forward into the second half of the year. Now, no matter how you feel after that reflecting and what or wasn't done, definitely do something to celebrate even the smallest win. I don't know about you, but I always tend to focus on the negative, like what I didn't do, right? When I shifted to focus on, well, what did I do, right? What did I do? What did my team do? Like, what did we accomplish? Oh my goodness, it totally outweighs what we did it, right? Because we're all moving at our own pace. Everything is happening for a reason, right? So it's all in, let's stay with the momentum, let's focus, and let's celebrate. So definitely commit yourself to put it on your calendar and celebrate. Okay, so next up, look at the goals that you set out for yourself at the beginning of the year. And let's see if you are still in line or aligned with those goals. I don't know about you, but for me, a couple of those goals have changed. For example, I wanted to have 10 done for you ads management clients. That was my goal, especially being boutique. I thought that was kind of big, but not too big, but definitely manageable. So all the customers would get that attention and that love, right? That we need to give them. Well, as the year kicked off, I decided to reduce the number of done for you clients to half, so it's 5, and increase the number of done with you ads management or group coaching. I realized that more people either wanted to do ads themselves, or maybe they even had a member of their team running their ads, right? Or they didn't have the resources to hire an agency. And I thought, I don't want to leave these people out, because I was once in that position where it was like, you know what, I'm techie enough. I kind of could figure this out. I don't really want to put my resources to hire an agency, but I needed somebody to ask questions to, right? Run by strategy or help me create the strategy, right? I needed that expert to go to, and there wasn't really something like that. So I said, okay, let me shift what I am doing to that, all right? So are you on the same course in your business to continue with your goals that you did set out to do at the beginning of the year? And listen, there's nothing wrong with pivoting or shifting your goals. You must be, however, totally honest with yourself and say, am I pivoting because of the next shiny object, right? Like you heard somebody say like, oh, you should be doing this type of thing. Or are you pivoting because the thing you were working on is either not working yet, or you've gotten impatient and decided to move on, right? That I would say, that's time to be honest with yourself and say, okay, do I need to stick with it a little bit longer to get it to work, right? It's like that Dunning-Kruger effect, where it's like, okay, you feel really good, but as you start working into your confidence kind of goes down as you're moving to become a master, right? And get really good at something. It's like, that's when you start dipping down and your confidence lowers as your competence increases, is when you start to give up. Right? So are you giving up? Are you quitting? Are you trying to go out and just boost your confidence again, rather than stick through it and have your confidence go back up once your confidence goes through, once your funnel starts working, once you figure out your messaging, right? Or are you like me, where you realize that there's a different need? Are you leaning into something that your audience wants? So you're shifting in that way. All right, so a couple of questions that you might want to ask yourself to figure out your goal, right, is who do you want to work with, right? Has that changed? And it's okay if it has. I have some clients that worked with newbies, and they found that that just wasn't the audience that they enjoyed working with. They wanted to work with clients that had established businesses, because of what they really wanted to focus on with them was to help them get to that next level, right? Help them really flourish and grow. And with them still figuring out, well, what is my business going to be? They were not having fun doing, right? So are you still loving with who you work with? Okay. What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your life to feel like? right? And what do you want your business to look and feel like? These are such like vital, crucial, critical, whatever other word you want to use when it comes to doing this type of work, right? You got into this business to have freedom, to have control, to do all these things. If you don't know what your life or your business, what that looks and feels like, you definitely need to start back from scratch, because this is how you're going to kind of set the course for what it is that you want to do from this moment forward, okay? Do you want more white space on your calendar? Do you want to shift into group coaching calls versus one-on-one calls, right? Maybe you want to work 4 days a week, or maybe have a couple of days a week with no calls so you can focus on other things in your business, right? So just think about it. It's your business, it's your life. Design it how you wish, all right? Okay, so now that you've defined, I should say, what your goals are going to be for the rest of the year, decide what projects that you should be working on and then prioritize them. Like I think it was 5 or 6 years ago, I started planning 90-day goals, right? I used to do annual goals, 5-year goals, like all that kind of stuff. But especially for the year, I said, okay, I'm going to start planning 90-day goals. And I'm actually still doing it today. And here's what's crazy cool about the 90-day goal. You normally hit that goal in 30 days. Here's why. You go all in to the one thing, and then until you annihilate it, right? It's like all hands on deck. You set up a project board, think of all the tasks that need to be done, assign owners on the tasks, and assign due dates. Then you check in on them weekly, sometimes maybe daily, or even bi-weekly if you need, right? This will hold you and your team accountable, and more importantly, gives the chance to have a discussion or ask questions in order for everyone to complete their tasks even faster, right? So depending on what you decide your business is going to look like and feel like moving forward this year, it might be time to refocus your marketing message. Now, matching your message to your ideal client is pretty much everything when it comes to marketing these days, right? I mean, I talk about it all the time, right? So think about you. You've got about 5 seconds to get and keep someone's attention, and you can't waste that precious time with a message that just does not connect, right? A message that connects is one that clearly talks about what your ideal client wants more than anything else. What is that? They want to solve their problem. In many ways, they will never care about how awesome you plan to do X and Y if first and foremost you don't let them understand what they really, really want, right? Nobody really, really wants what you sell. What they want is their problem solved, period, right? So make a list of those problems that you solve for clients that you help most with who you decided to work with. That's it, right? How you refocus your message is no longer about you and your amazing products and services. It's all about your amazing clients and the problems that they want to be solved. Then figure out what content do you want to create, and that will lead into your offers. Make sense? Now, sometimes we are just putting out content to put out content, almost like checking a box, right? Okay, I got the morning post, I did a story, okay, right? So instead, be intentional and come up with a promotional plan. Whether you're going to be launching in the fall or you have even like some sort of evergreen offer, think about all the content that you're creating that has a purpose, right? Like shifting a belief, bringing awareness to a problem, letting people know that there's a solution, overcoming an objection. All of your content should be priming them and getting them ready to buy. So how cool would it be if you can not only plan, but create content in advance to lighten your schedule for fall? So take some time, mark it on your calendar over the next couple of weeks to really think about not just the month of content, but your content promotional plan that's going to lead into the fall, okay? Lead into your offer. Really, really dive in and think about that every post has a purpose. Every post has something to do with leading back to your offers, specifically addressing the problems that your people have, right? All right, so next, think about what connections you can make or relationships that you can build upon in order to collaborate with, to create content with, right? Maybe even do a presentation in their program, be a guest on their podcast, or get them to be a guest on yours, and maybe even speak on stages, right? The idea is to get exposure on other people's audience, right? So as you know, I'm all about paid traffic. However, you need to work some things out with not only diversify your paid traffic, but also use organic marketing, but not where you're going to be spending all this time in the DMs, right? I'm talking about these strategies and building upon these relationships is getting exposure to other people's audiences where you're now leveraging your time, right? So you're not spending all these hours upon hours in the DMs or, whatever. You're going to be on a stage. You're going to be talking to people. You have somebody giving you that credibility and that authority. All right. Makes sense? So we're all now talking about how we can use our time more wisely, more efficiently, right? We're stepping up as a CEO here. Okay. So let's talk marketing materials. Are your current lead magnets up, like current, right? Are they outdated, right? Is there something that's working now that you can make a change to that lead magnet and help them out, like help out new leads, right? Or possibly even a way to go back in your emails, like, hey, you got this, download for, I don't know, my morning routines, let's just say. And I've added something really cool that has made a difference and made me more productive, made me more relaxed or less stressed or whatever. And I've updated, here it goes, right? And you send them an updated thing. What a great way to get back in front of leads that you already have, okay? All right. So is the messaging on point, or does it need to be updated, speaking to the problem that they want solved, right? So now that you're more aware of this, it's kind of like, was it a problem you think they had? But maybe now that you've done some market research, you're like, I might have missed the mark a little bit here. Let me update it, even if it's just the messaging, okay? So think about that. It may not be the meat of the lead magnet or whatever it is that you're giving, but it could just simply be modifying or updating your messaging. Now, do you have a call to action on everything? Okay. And you need to make sure, like, what is that call to action going to be? Is it going to be book a call? Is it going to be follow me on social? Is it going to be join my group? Right? So think about what those call to actions are and get them, make sure they're all on everything. Okay. And then are they really effective? Are they aligned with your branding and your offer? So for example, and I know I gave this example one time before, where it's like, if you're trying to sell, let's say, goal setting, and yet your lead magnet is about paid traffic, right? How is this aligned with goal setting? Yes, you might be saying it, well, if they drive everybody wants to have traffic, right? But then they're really wanting, they really need to have the goals for the traffic. So you're connecting the dots, but they're not. If they see the traffic, they're going to be thinking like, yes, I want more traffic. And the traffic should go in line with something that has to do with traffic, right? Not with goals. So how can you reverse engineer and go one step back, two step back, and see what that lead magnet should be, okay? Make sure it's aligned with your offer. And then do they need to be updated with your current branding? Sometimes all it needs is a little refresh, right? So maybe you made this lead magnet when you first got started, you were just like figuring out Canva, and now like your Canva skills are on point. Like, how can you do that even better? And speaking of branding, could you do a photo shoot and swap out your headshots or photos on your website or other marketing materials on your media kit? And how about your emails? Have you looked at those lately? Are you getting them to click? Now, the open rate is no longer the KPI that you should be measuring when it comes to your emails. It's all about the click. So revisit and see how you can train the behavior to get the click. For example, don't attach a lead magnet to the email, ask them to click, or write shorter emails and ask them to click to read more, right? Testimonials are another good thing. So who are your star students, right? Make time to reach out to them and ask them for a testimonial. And then add to or replace your landing pages, emails, websites with new testimonials or case studies. All right, those are my suggestions on how to execute a marketing summer reboot. Lots of cool things for you to do this summer to give your marketing a revive or refresh in order to increase your sales come fall. I appreciate you so much for being here with me today. Until next time, let's grow your business together.